Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished guests. On behalf of Colonel Leland Blanchard II, Commander of the Professional Education Center, Major Millikie White, Chief Strength Maintenance Training Center, welcome to the retirement ceremony of Major Carlos T. Woodard. I am Master Sergeant Alan Myers, SMTC Interim Chief Instructor, and your MC for today's ceremony. I would also like to extend a special welcome to Major Woodard's family, spouse Decoria Woodard, sons Cameron, Chris, and Caleb. Also, mother Regina Walston. I would also like to extend a special welcome to Major Woodard's extended family and friends. We are pleased that you could attend today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Staff Sergeant John Stevens will now give the invocation for today's ceremony.
Let us pray. Our most gracious and heavenly Father, we come to you now in this time just to give you thanks. Because we know, Father, without you, none of this is possible. We come to you saying thank you for being our light in darkness and our shepherd when we are misguided. None of us in this room are perfect, but your mercy is unwavering. We come to you on this special day to thank you for allowing us to fellowship with the great man in our army and as well as in your army, Major Carlos Woodard. May he continue to be blessed in his next endeavor, and may you continue to be his strength. May you watch over his family and everyone supporting him under the sound of my voice. I ask these things in your most holy Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant Stevens. Please welcome the PC Commander, Colonel Blanchard, to say a few words.
I assume you want me to speak from the mic, right?
If you don't mind, sir.
Okay. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. These are always, Mom, these are always bittersweet days, right? Gloria, this is probably not so bitter. It's probably pretty sweet, right? Because now he has no excuse why he can't do those chores around the house, all those things that you know, been writing that list. You got that long list, right? Okay, good. So obviously I want to say good morning and welcome to everybody, especially the family. You know, it's always great when we get the opportunity to do something like this because really what we are doing is we're celebrating a whole lot of energy and effort, right? 20 years plus, right? When you count all your other time, but when we think about our days, you know, we get up in the morning, we go to work, and we're knocking out a bunch of tasks, right? And Carlos, you've been doing that for a long time, knocking out those tasks, and you go home at the end of the day, and our loved ones say, you know, the kids say, hey, how was work today? And you go, you know what, I don't want to think about it. You know, I did some PowerPoint slides, I did whatever, right? And we move on, and we don't really think about it in terms of all of the stuff that you built over 20 plus years, right? We often think about just the nature of what we do. And Carlos, when I think about the conversations that we've had and the energy and the efforts that you put in, I think about you're always so focused on chiseling whatever it is you're working on at that moment. You never really take a chance to step back and say, let me look at the product of my energy and my efforts, right? And so that's what we really get the opportunity to do today. That's why, again, bittersweet, but I love these opportunities because what we really get to do is everybody kind of takes a moment and says, oh, let's think about, and we start having those conversations, right? And I know, again, so we've had some conversations, and I know as you've made that transition or are making the transition, you've taken the opportunity to think about a lot. And that's really, I love the emotion, and because what it reminds me of is your mom is thinking about back when you were a baby, right? I don't want to get you crying and everything, but how far you've come in your life from that time when, well, you'll be back to needing diapers again someday soon, but, you know, from diapers to diapers in that whole, right, that whole timeline. Yeah, I know, I'm online, I'm in trouble. It's amazing and it's powerful when we think about the impacts that we've had. And Carlos, the impacts that you have had on thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers and their families, their lives, their careers. So many things that when we're 18 and we're joining the Army or we're thinking about joining the Guard, that first contact, that first experience that anybody has, you have personally been involved, whether you've ever known that person out in Washington or Montana or Maine that's talking to a recruiter for the first time. He or she may not know it, but you have personally been involved in the training of that individual that's putting them into our formation. And that's pretty powerful because that soldier 20, 25 years from now, when they're looking back on all the lives that they've impacted, they may not know it, but we know that you were part of that foundation. You built that foundation. You got them into our formation, doing the right things, doing the right jobs. You and your contributions go way beyond what you've done over the last 20 years. It's about what's going to happen in our Army National Guard over the next 20, 25, 30 years. Because those young men and women, those are your legacy. Right, those, and so we go home and we look at our awards and you'd be looking at things and talking about your memories. We always tend to look back, but I'll tell you, you need to think about the future and look forward because those young men and women, you've had a pretty significant impact. Again, those are just the ones that don't ever know you. The people who you've worked with directly for the last 20 plus years, they certainly have been impacted by you. You've played a significant role in their lives. So as we recently had another ceremony, right? And we had, so as Major White has taken over and we've had the transition, it's been interesting, even out at the wiffle ball tournament, by the way. I just want to remind everybody, Command Team 1. I don't want to go a day without reminding everybody. But hey, SMTC took second place, so that's pretty good too. It's better than HHC did. But even having those conversations with folks out there, you came out and visited, you were watching for a little bit, and that always spurs conversation, right? And people start to look back, and they start to talk about, the things that I've heard people say. Now, the things, of course, that I've observed and things that you and I have talked about fall right in line with this. But when I hear other people say, Major Woodard's a caring leader. Major Woodard, he really gives, he cares. Right? That's pretty amazing because we're all at the point where we're all senior leaders and we've seen a lot, we've done a lot, we all know how to do our job, but sometimes we don't feel like we maybe belong to an organization, or we've all had experiences where we've had leaders where we question, do they care about me beyond being able to get a widget done today? And everybody that I've talked to has said, hey, if there's one thing about Carlos Woodard, it's that he cares and that he's the first person to be involved. And again, those conversations that we've had right in line with that. And so before I get emotional, right, before I start looking like Mom, tears in my eyes, I just would encourage you as you move forward in the rest of your life, remember, all those lives that you've impacted go beyond just that individual soldier that you have personally engaged with and taken 5 or 10 or 60 minutes to make sure that they are getting what they need. It's about the families that you've impacted. It's about the people when you show them what right looks like, when you engage with them, you mentor, you train them, they then go forward and they're able to mentor, train, and engage and take care of more families. So, kind of like that pebble out into the water, the ripples, your presence, your attitude, your approach, your engagement, your career will ripple throughout time. There are many lives that you have touched, and I promise you, there are a lot of people here who are going to miss you, but more important, there are a lot of people who are going to remember you. They're going to remember the words, the actions, the deeds that you have committed and said over the last 20 plus years. And they're going to take that with them, and they're going to remember that when they face their own challenges or when one of their soldiers or their civilians comes to them with a challenge, right? So just know that your impact has been pretty significant. All right. Now, done talking about you. What's really important? The family. Mom, I got to tell you, on behalf of many, many people, thank you. Thank you, first of all, for raising your son the right way. That is clear when I have conversations with him, that he is grounded in a foundation that goes way beyond basic training for the Army and all the many hundreds of dollars that we've invested in him over the years. That's a kind of a joke, but it's at least $10,000, $12,000. But sorry, I knocked someone's. I'll assume that's water in there. Come on, that's the best I got. If you're not going to laugh at that, it's going to go downhill from here. But Mom, I really and sincerely mean that. So we often see a lot of people who come in here and they don't have that foundation, that solid start, if you will, and that goes far. And we can see that in everything that Carlos does. So thank you for everything that you've done for him over the years. To the sisters, we appreciate you helping to mold him. Probably, so I don't have sisters, I just have brothers. But much like Carlos, I'm the, I'll say that I'm the smallest by like 4 or 5 inches and like 50, 70 pounds, right? But I'm also the oldest. I ain't never lost a fight, but I've walked away from a couple wishing that I hadn't been in it. All right? Against my brothers, I've got my butt whooped by other people. Thank you for everything that you've done. So again, talking to him over time, I know that the support that you all have provided him has been important. And really, again, those experiences throughout life as you grow, right? It's how to treat people in those engagements, and him seeing and just being a part of your lives and you being a part of his life has had great meaning to him. So really, really appreciate that. Now, for the person who has lent us Carlos for a good bit of time, you can have him back. Just kidding. No, we nobody really understands what a military spouse goes through. I always, when people talk to me and they say, what was it like, or what's it like to be overseas or to go and do these things, and I always look at it as, it's pretty fun. It's like it's what I joined to do, and yeah, there's rough days and there's some terrible days, and there's what I don't worry about? I don't worry about paying the bills when I'm deployed. I don't worry about the grass getting mowed when I'm deployed. I don't worry about just about anything, right? Because that burden is on my spouse, that's on my wife. And I know I couldn't do it without my wife. And talking to Carlos, and even when we're here, right? So even this separation, the geographic separation, you still have children to raise. You still got to make sure they're getting to school. You got to make sure that those after-school activities, all those things that they want to go do, that you're sitting there and you're going, you know what, Carlos, it'd be nice if someone else could drive them to these, play dates or whatever we call them today. No one understands that. No one understands all the stuff that you've had to go through unless they've been in your shoes. And I really believe that my job as a soldier and Carlos's job as a soldier can only be accomplished, and we can only really focus on the task at hand if we have the right person at home that gives us that assurance that everything's going to be okay. That when we have those tough days, there's a safe place to come home to, and a person that I love, that I can talk. And I know talking to Carlos, he feels that way about you. And I know to the kids, you all can't even imagine how important you are to him, right? Just knowing that you are there for him. And so just, again, I feel myself getting emotional, and I see everyone's like, hey, Blanchard, get off the stage. So to the family, to the Woodard family, it is with a full heart that we say thank you for everything that you've sacrificed to all of you. The willingness to allow your son, your husband, your father, your brother, to do the things that he's had to do the business of this nation. Thank you from the bottom of our collective hearts. We owe you a debt of gratitude that you know, you ain't gonna get a check other than a retirement check, but we owe you. And so thank you very much. And to Carlos, I know we'll be talking some more, but brother, I really appreciate sincerely everything that you've done and the great attitude that you've done it with. You have, you've done some great things, and seriously, we collectively appreciate it. So to you and your family, congratulations and Godspeed on this journey. Thanks.
Colonel Blanchard, thank you for those kind words. Please welcome SMTC Chief Major White to say a few words.
Good morning, sorry. Thank you, sir, for leaving a very tough act to follow. What can I say about Carlos? I promised I was gonna keep it short, and I mean real short. Carlos, we've known each other for a while. You've always been a big brother to me, a mentor. You know, I remember coming back into the office and just coming to see you and having those words of encouragement, or kind of giving me some opportunities to vent. You were always there, no matter what was going on, and I appreciate that sincerely. I could not have been more excited to provide you this opportunity to transition on to the next thing, because it's not really a retirement, right? Because, you know, you're always going to be a soldier, and that's just the way you conduct yourself. But I'm happy to allow you to be home, right? Because for the years I've known you, you've always been, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, trying to manage the two. And the thing that, you know, and it said to Mom, that's so amazing about, and to the whole family, like, his professionalism speaks volumes, because a lot of people who have done this, we have people who live down 95, and you couldn't get them to come into work because they try to spend so much time at home. And he always effectively managed his responsibilities in the building or here with his responsibilities at home. And that's just, you know, a testament. If you all don't know, I mean, how important you are to him. I mean, it's for the years I've known him, that's always been the mainstay. You know, other than Oklahoma football, but we ain't gonna talk about that. I want to say, again, words cannot describe my admiration for you as a man, as a leader, as I said, as a mentor, as a brother. The one thing that I will say, and, you know, we've shared this before, and I want to share this with the family, right? You never know why you're in certain positions, right? And I've had a lot of different assignments, and I've been put in a lot of different places, PCS all in around DC, up in NGB, the 10 years I was up there. But the assignment before I worked with Carlos provided to me probably one of the most rewarding experiences. And that was, you know, when we was going through a tough time, right? Trying to figure out, you know, trying to get you healthy, and, you know, trying to make sure that you were okay. And I was so thankful to have had that experience, being over at the Physical Disability Agency, to be able to help guide him through that process, to help him get the orders to get here. And we were trying to get you for seal. They wouldn't wait that happen. But that time there, the time that I spent in that agency, I would not have known that those connections, those people, would have served a significant purpose in somebody else's life. So I'm most definitely thankful to have had that opportunity to get him at least here and to allow us to get to this day. And, you know, you can't, yeah. So, and brother, I tell you this, that you ain't gonna be missed, because I'm gonna leave you alone. I ain't gonna reach out to you too much, because I want you to spend some time, right? You've always had to manage multiple things. I'm gonna leave you alone for a little bit until football starts actually playing, and y'all lose a game y'all not supposed to lose, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, you know how y'all do. And I'm gonna send you a couple text messages, but I ain't gonna bother you too much. But man, brother, understand that I love you. You know, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. So I thank you for always keeping me straight. And now it's y'all responsibility, fellas. Don't jump on him. You know, he getting a little older, but don't be afraid to rough him up a little bit. He deserves it. And most definitely, I thank you all for allowing us to borrow him. And we are happily returning him in not the same hair he had when he was in high school, you know. But, you know, still fit to fight. All I can say is, brother, job well done. Thank you.
Major White, thank you for those kind words. Next, we will have a video from HRR and one from SMTC about Major Woodard and his impact on the 79 Tango career field, HRR, and the SMTC staff.
Hey, Carlos, what's happening, man? This is Mr. Smith, Anson up at HRR. First of all, I want to say, hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for an outstanding job that you did at SMTC. I'm sure when you get back to Oklahoma, you're going to be with your family back where you belong. So once again, thank you for your service. Thanks for all that you've done. And if you ever need anything, you know where we are.
Hey Carlos, Colonel Hogston here, Div Chief for HRR. Obviously we go back a ways. We got a little bit of history going back to the last time I was in this division. You were over in recruiting operations. So I got a chance to know you there personally and knew how you operate and all the great things you've done there and also what you've done at SMTC. You served there as a chief in a very volatile time, especially during the midst of COVID, and then just being an integral part of transitioning the SQI-4 course to what it is today to be able to continue to train recruiters. You've done a great job. You've made significant contributions to HRR in this organization. I just want to congratulate you and your family on your service, your career, and as you transition to the next phase of your life, I wish you all the best. And as Mr. Smith said, you know, we're always here for you if you need anything. Congratulations, Carlos. Well done, man.
Major Woodard, Sergeant Major, Division Sergeant Major out here at HRR. Just wanted to congratulate you and your family on a long and illustrious career. We want to thank you for all of your leadership and mentorship and guidance to the SMTC and MCOA staff. We want to also, really just thank you for all of the mentorship that you provided for all of the 79 Tangos and SQI-4 soldiers out there. Nobody enlists into the Army National Guard without the recruiters that you guys train out there at the SMTC. So thank you for the ripple effect that you've left and the legacy that you've put on all of the staff and soldiers across the Army National Guard. Once again, we apologize for not being able to attend tomorrow's festivities, but we do want to say thank you for all that you've been able to provide for us. Congratulations once again, Major Woodard. Thank you.
Our mission here at SMTC is simple. We want to train and educate our sprint maintenance force so they can go out and operate in the complex recruiting environment. To do so, we need to arm you with the capabilities and the tools to perform your job. The goal of the staff and faculty here at SMTC is to prepare you for the exciting job as an Army National Guard recruiter. We want to train and educate you so that you can be capable, adaptable, and competent leader and distinguish yourself while you're out there performing your duties, recruiting our nation's most precious resource, and that's our people. This course will be challenging both mentally and physically, and upon your completion, we expect nothing but great things from you. We wish you the best of luck in your endeavors now and in the future.
At the Restore, it's a different variety of things, so we get all types of items that come in. So anything that can be in a house, you're going to be able to find it here at the Restore.
No, that's fine. I really was just kidding. No, that's fine. I'll take them going back.
Did you see that? Putting them to work.
Army guys came in through here, and we're having them for volunteer. We have mattresses that have to be taken upstairs and sanitized before they can be sold to the public. The fumes get really strong, and a lot of people get lightheaded from it. So we do it upstairs, that way it dissipates before it comes down to everybody else. It is very impressive. Usually that's a job for like 2 or 3 of us at the one time. We're moving one mattress at a time. So this, having enough people to do a line is very, very helpful. They have been moving exceptionally fast and really helping us out. Usually we only have like a few people on hand at a time.
Congratulations are definitely in order to you, big brother. To say that we are proud of you is a complete understatement. Retirement is a huge accomplishment, and your baby sis and nephew thinks it looks great on you. So, in the words of the legendary R&B soul group, Kool and the Gang. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. We love you. Congratulations on your retirement, Big Chief.
Congratulations, Uncle Chief.
In all my dealings, both in uniform and outside of uniform, I've ran into a lot of leaders. And one thing I've learned that a good leader is not just those in uniform, but all those who take to heart and all the duties and responsibilities that they invoke when they're put in charge of people. People are people inside a uniform and outside of that uniform. And oftentimes we tend to not take that in consideration. I've come to watch and observe, and I would say he has all those qualities. His leadership here at the SMTC has been nothing less than outstanding. I not only wish him the best, but I hope that he would take all of those skills and abilities that he's learned and he's accumulated in running a military organization and apply those to all the things that his future will have in store for him as leaving a likewise organization on the civilian sector. You'll be as successful in the commercial world as you were in military if you remember all your military training and all the examples and the people you've led and the subordinate leaders who you've trained and taught. I have no doubts you'll be as successful in the civilian world as you have been in the military. I wish you the best of luck and love. And remember, if you ever need any help for anything, give us a call.
So I just wanted to say thank you for opening the SMTC family up to some non-National Guard folks. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and instill some wisdom into some of the future of R&R. And I really appreciate making this a family atmosphere.
Appreciate everything you've done for us. You've been a great leader. Been together for a few years now. I knew you when I was MEPS guidance counselor. You were at the Rock. But I just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. I'm right behind you.
Hey, congratulations. This is Brother Nate, aka Master Nate. Just want to say to Major Woodard, aka C, congratulations on your retirement. So you did a great job. I know we've been real good partners and boys. I still got you. Always. My major in Douglas High School. I want you to continue to pursue your dreams outside this military life. Sir, when you ready to come over to the DoD world, I got you. We got that GS-13 waiting for you. Best of luck to you and your family. We love you. Take care. Congratulations.
In finding a major that would talk to you and not through you, very, very much of a relief, I think. So for me personally, he was able to redeem, but then also gave me so much more respect for not just the pay grade, but the rank as well. And I feel privileged for the past 13 months working with him and under his charge, even as a former Marine, and I can think back on that 13 months with pride.
I just wanted to congratulate you on your happy retirement, and I just wanted to say thank you for all the effort that you put into the IMI team, and while I've been here only a few short months, you have made a huge impact in my life and the rest of us at SMTC.
I've worked for you for almost 2 years. It's been a good 2 years. I've learned a whole lot. You've taught me a whole lot. I wish you all the best in the world. I know you've got great endeavors and high aspirations. I know you're going to do well no matter where you land.
Major Woodard, first I would like to thank you for coming into our lives. Thank you for serving and protecting our country for 29 years. Thank you for putting your life on the line for our freedom. Now you can physically, mentally, and emotionally be home with your family. I love you, and congratulations on your retirement.
I have a certain level of respect for you as a leader in being here at SMTC. There's been some things at SMTC that, while I've been here, I might not be the biggest fan of, but I've always been a fan of yours, and there's a lot of respect. I hope for a lot of success for you in the future. And just keep being you, because wherever you are, I'm sure that you're going to be an asset to that situation.
You've been one of the best officers I've ever had to work with. So I pray for you and your family during this transition. I hope that you find a hobby. I hope that You're able to make up lost time with your family, and your retirement is as good as it can be.
You've actually been the only commander that I've had on my Title 10 journey, and I have to say that you truly impressed me in your time here at SMTC. I haven't been in your office very many times, but the times that I have walked out with a wealth of knowledge and a better person. So truly, from the bottom of my heart, sir, thank you for everything.
ACW, congratulations on your retirement. I remember when you were a cadet just trying to make decisions. I know this journey hasn't been easy, but well worth it. And we're all very proud of you as you transition into your next one. Love you, brother.
What can I say? I have you set up to do these Facebook Live graduations. First time we did one, you were so nervous and things, but you have this really spunky attitude like, I'm first take, I'm first take. When you have to be on, you're on. And we used to say, well, you just need your smoking jacket, your Facebook Live lounging red smoking jacket. I used to love when you'd come over and we'd do a graduation and things, you'd peek over my shoulder and says, how many people we got viewing now? Really? How many people we got? You think we could add a few more cameras here? You've been a pleasure, genuinely, to work with. I'm really gonna miss you. And I wish you good luck on your next endeavor and things, but I'm sure you'll be good at that as you were here, and I want you to come back and see us.
I congratulate you on your 20 years of service. I just want to tell you that I appreciate all the encouragement that you gave me over the years. Situation there when I was at NGB and trying to come to the center, I would not be in the current position as 5th on the Sergeant Major list if it was not have been for your guidance. And then more personally, I appreciate what you did for me during the rough time here the past year with my going through my divorce, and the counsel that you have given me. I will always admire you as a commander and as a major, but I also admire you as a man, sir.
Hi, son, my number one. Congratulations, you finally did it. Words cannot express how proud I am of you. But guess what? There are still more great things ahead for you, so you keep pushing. I love you. Mwah.
Hey, Major Woodard, I want to congratulate you on retiring from the military for 29 years. And I want to thank you for your service. And I can't wait for you to be home.
You know, first off, I just want to say thank you for helping me get here. I like the story that you tell about the packet and that it turned out to be a good investment on behalf of the center. So whatever your journey you're going on and whatever's next for you, I hope that it is exactly how you want it to be.
It's sad to see you go. I've known you for a lot of years, since 2014, up at National Guard Bureau. I worked the recruiting standards branch, and then you were over in the ROB. And I remember back then, I had an issue with a soldier that you gave me some very good guidance on. I still leaned on you as a leader and a mentor. You are the kind of officer that NCOs dream of having as a commander, especially when it comes to making tough leadership decisions. I always sought out your guidance and your words of wisdom. I paid attention to your words because words matter, and you taught me that. And I learned from your temperaments and your body language and the words you articulated how important it is when you speak with soldiers to ensure that you come across in a compassionate, caring, and empathetic way. There was many times you had to talk me off the ledge because you know I tend to be a little more emotionally reactive at times. But I always knew at the end of the day, the words of wisdom you gave me were solid. You are a true man, you're a true leader, and I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to serve with you, sir.
Congratulations on your retirement, Dad.
Hi, Chief. This is Grandma. Congratulations on your retirement. Now we in the same boat. So boogie together. Grandma love you.
I hope that everything from here on is amazing for you and your family, and I hope you have plenty of time to catch up on lost time you've had with them, and And also I just want to say thank you so much for your dedication to us as a training center and as your subordinates. It's been an honor serving with you and having someone that I knew had my back. I'm one of those people who kind of change from day to day where I'm going to go in the future. I feel like you were always there being supportive of anything that I felt like I wanted to do, whether it was furthering education or looking into a new career, AGR, etc. It really has meant a lot.
Hey, sir. I wanted to tell you congratulations on your retirement. I know you hear this all the time. You are such a great leader. Now, I can tell you for sure that nobody is more excited than me for you to come home and lead your household. I love you. See you soon.
Next level, congratulations, Los, on your retirement, my man. That's what's up. Walked it down, ready to step into that next phase. All the while, my man, took your fitness to the next level. It's been a pleasure knowing you these years. I appreciate the support you've been giving me, man. The representation for the community. Unparalleled, boss. That's what's up. Now it's ready to step into that next phase of life and continue to take it to the next level.
First of all, let me say that Mr. Manuel made me wear a hat so that these lights wouldn't be causing problems off the dome. But what to say about Major Woodard? I believe the first all-call we had with Major Woodard, after it was over, I pulled him aside and I said, "Sir, could I have a word with you?" He said, "Sure." I said, "You went a little long there. From now on, I'm going to have to ask you to keep it short. There's only two things people want to know from you is we're doing a great job and pop smoke." And you laughed and I said, "Okay, we'll be all right." His network connection quit working in his office. Well, he went somewhere and left me to do my thing. I ran a network cable over his clothes rack, through his blinds in his windows, both windows, across his desk. He comes in, I'm sitting on the couch. He says, "Did you get it fixed?" I said, "Well, of course I did." He sits down, logs into his computer, and then realizes he's got a cable running across his office. He said,
"What the hell am I looking at?"
"What the hell am I looking at? Looks like I'm stealing power in the projects." So, we've had a pretty good relationship. I've enjoyed working with him. I'll just let you know we appreciate you here.
So, sir, don't know what much else to say besides what Colonel Blanchard, Major White, the HR leadership, and SMTC has said about you, sir. But I'll leave it with 5 leader virtues that always stick out to me. And I think you embody all of these, not just as a leader, but as a man. The first one being driven by values. Anybody that knows you, who's been around you for any period of time, know you have a very strong value set. And can't say enough about that. Second is you inspire others to take steps. Just like was mentioned in the video from multiple staff members, you're constantly having your door open and willing to sit down and listen to everyone talk to you about their career ambitions, where they might want to go. Never once did you try to shut a door or anything other than to listen, observe, and encourage. And then, a lot of times, provide sound judgment. 3 is having emotional intelligence. Just like I spoke about in the video, I will never forget your temperament and the words and how you articulate in conflicting or potentially friction-style conversations. Goes a long ways. It says the type of emotional intelligence that you are capable of as a man and as a leader. 4 is holding accountability. You held us all accountable without always having to tell us you're holding us accountable. That goes a long ways. And then the last one is carving out a path for others. You have carved out a certain path for Major White to now come in and continue to build upon what SMTC is and take it to the future. That wouldn't have been done without you. You have carved paths in many people's lives, as you've seen in these videos. So you ultimately, for sure, have all 5 of those leaders and virtues. Yes. Next, ladies and gentlemen, Major Woodard would like to present his wife with some flowers. Roger that, sir. So just so y'all know the history of the Arkansas Traveler, back in the 1800s, Colonel Sandy Faulkner was traveling through the back hills of Arkansas. He was hungry and tired, and he came upon a squatter's cabin. And the squatter, he was playing a familiar tune, but he was playing the same part over and over. So Colonel Faulkner asked the squatter, "Sir, do you have accommodations for the evening?" Initially, the squatter said no. But then Colonel Faulkner asked, "Well, why do you only keep playing that certain part of the song?" And he said, "Well, I don't know the rest of the song." Well, Colonel Faulkner took the fiddle, showed him the turn of the tune, and taught the squatter the rest of the song. The squatter was so impressed and humbled by this that he invited Colonel Faulkner into his home and gave him the utmost hospitality. So, in that tradition, we hope that your time in Arkansas, sir, has been a hospitable one and has been a memorable one. And on your journey back to Oklahoma and wherever life might take you, hopefully you will take a piece of Arkansas and speak well of it. And this afternoon, you will receive that Arkansas Travel Award. Next, Major Woodard will now be presented with the NGB heritage painting called "The Old Flag Never Touched the Ground." I would like to tell a little bit about this backstory. This is of the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry Regiment. That was an African-American regiment that was stood up in 1863 by the War Department. They fought valiantly within the Union versus Confederate battle, and during that time, Sergeant William Carney, who is in the photo with holding the flag, took the national colors and fought off numerous attempts by the Confederates to capture it. Without support and faced with superior numbers and firepower, the 54th was forced to pull back. Despite 2 severe wounds, Sergeant Carney carried the colors to the rear. When praised for his bravery, he modestly replied, "I only did my duty. The old flag never touched the ground." Carney was awarded the Medal of Honor in the failed assault, but the greater message was not lost. Some 180,000 African-American soldiers followed in the footsteps of this gallant guardsman and proved that African-American soldiers indeed fought heroically if given the opportunity. And the last thing I'll say about this is Sergeant Carney was the first African-American as well to receive the Medal of Honor. Next, Major Woodard will be presented with the illustrious Peck Eagle, thanking him for his years of service here at the Professional Education Center.
He said, you can't see him, but he's smiling.
Next, Major Woodard will now be presented with the Peck Signature Mat. And sir, you still owe me $20 for getting everybody to sign it. Next, Major Woodard will now be presented with the SMTC plaque. On this plaque, you're going to see the 3 National Guard recruiting badges along with the 3 Army instructor badges. Lastly, SMTC would like to present Major Woodard with a special gift. We would like to thank Mr. Scott for supplying a nice piece of wood. And then we took Major Woodard's ORB and we found images from all his past units he's been affiliated with, along with the different corps. And thanks to Mr. Culpepper to help us with lining out the design, we would like to present you with this token of our appreciation from SMTC, sir. Major Woodard, if you would please stay. Colonel, Major White, Please have a seat. Thank you. Major Woodard, the floor is now yours. I got you, sir.
Real cute. You come to ceremonies like these. I've been in quite a while, and you attend quite a few of them. And in the beginning, I never thought about it much because, quite frankly, I didn't think I would get to that point. But over the last several years, each time I've attended a retirement ceremony, I always envisioned myself up there and like, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Well, first of all, I just want to start off by thanking Colonel Blanchard, Major White, thank you all. Master Sergeant Myers, thank you for allowing me to have this ceremony today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have served with this fine group in here and the rest of the staff and personnel here at PEC. To my wife, I really can't put into words how much you mean to me and how much your support, your love, and most definitely your understanding, it really encourages me and keeps me going. To my boys, look, you guys are the light in my eye. You know, my heart pumps for you three. I think back when I was your ages in the different stages. You know, Cameron, you being 17, Chris, you being 13, and Caleb, you being 11. And I see myself at each of those stages and the types of things that I was doing. I never would have thought I would be standing here in front of you at this time. I never would have thought it. Mom, been my #1 fan for a long time. And as you said it, I finally made it. You know, there were some tough times, but there were a lot of great times. I have a lot of great memories. My sisters who came here to support me, I know most of y'all don't know, but I have a twin sister, and she's here today joining me. My great uncle here. So my great uncle, he inspires me. So he's my grandfather's youngest brother. And I was my grandfather's oldest grandson, but I never got to meet him. He passed away before I was born. So his legacy, in my eyes, I see that in my uncle. Several of my uncles went on to serve in the military. My Uncle Keith here, he retired as a Master Sergeant from the Air Force. Don't blame me for that choice, everybody, but yeah, okay. But he's always been an inspiration to me. Throughout my career, he's called and checked on me no matter where I've been. How are you doing? How are things going? How are you progressing? Colonel Dorsey, my best friend. Met him 20 years ago in OCS, and we went through that trial and tribulation together, and we really encouraged each other every day since then, and our bond has grown from day one. And right now, we stay about 2 miles from each other back in Oklahoma City, so we bug each other all the time. I didn't know he was coming. I happened to stop by his house Monday, and he said, oh, yeah, I'm coming to Peck to see you off. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So, but he was planning on a surprise. But, you know, as I was trying to think of what I would say up here, and Mr. Riddle, I will not be long, sir. I thought about the journey. I thought about my journey. And I thought about how I got to this point. When I joined the Army back in November of 1992, I experienced a lot of first-time things. It was the first time I ever got on an airplane. I was frightened. And I recall when I got to basic training after getting out of the reception station, getting to the barracks, and the drill sergeant looked at me. Drill Sergeant Williams looked at me and said, Private, can you do 10 push-ups? And I said, yes, Drill Sergeant. Got down and knocked out the push-ups. He said, get up, Private. And on the last day of basic training, that same drill sergeant came up to me and said, congratulations, and gave me my E2 wings. I was the pick from that basic training platoon. And that was so remarkable to me because I was there really just focused on trying to take care of me, but be an encouragement and an inspiration to others as well. Because everybody looked at me like, this guy's too small. He can't make it happen. But that was always a theme. I never thought of myself as being small-minded or as a small man. I just wanted to go and do the job that was asked of me, no matter what it was. So that journey led to the first time me leaving the country, and I'm assigned to Germany. I'm 18 years old. What I know about Germany, World War II, the wall had just come down in '89. I show up in Frankfurt Airport, and I see German shepherds and people with AKs. And I'm in a green Army uniform, and I'm thinking, oh, snap. Are we still at war? What's going on? I'm frightened. But, you know, I experienced a lot of things being on active duty. And again, when it was time for me to transition, I never thought I would end up in the Army National Guard. As you all know, I walked into some RCCC office, and they said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to college. I've been accepted to college. Well, guess what? Where are you going? I said, Oklahoma. He said, well, we'll pay your tuition if you come and join. Well, there you go. Here I am today. The one thing that I did learn is that when opportunities presented themselves, I always wanted to be prepared for it. Always wanted to be prepared for it. And many of you that I've talked to during my time here, I always tell you that you're going to have some good days, you're going to have some bad days, but you never know what opportunity is going to be presented to you, so you always need to prepare yourself. Well, that preparation for me back in 2015 led to me being in the hospital. So I talked about first, this was a last. It was the last time I took an APFT. It almost killed me. A lot of people don't know that because of the way I look now. But one of the things I learned going through that, I was hospitalized for several weeks, ended up going on dialysis at Walter Reed. And one of the things that those people in that treatment center told me every day, they said, you have the best attitude that we've ever seen. And I would always tell them, you know what? It's the only thing I can control. I have an option every day to smile. So when I come through the gates here, they call me Major Smiling. You can go ask them. They say, you're always smiling. And I tell them, it's the only thing I can control. It's no matter what we're facing here, no matter what we're facing outside of these walls, we can control our attitude, and I can tell you that it has a positive effect, not only on yourself, but those around you. So my journey has led to today, and I know for some it's bittersweet. I will tell you all, I'm excited for the journey that's coming to a completion, but for my wife, my boys, I'm even more excited for the journey that lies ahead for us as we transition together. Cameron, you get ready to go off to college. Oh, you. Chris, you'll be going to high school next year, and Caleb, you'll continue on in middle school. I'm looking forward to all of the exciting adventures and all the fun things that we're going to do together. I know, Caleb, I owe you a fishing pole, so my youngest son, he's the one that's taking up fishing after me, and he's like, Dad, I need a new pole. I said, son, don't worry about it. I have a brand new pole that's never touched the water, and we'll both be out there together very soon. So in conclusion, I really just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to lead, allow me to be Carlos T. Woodard. I see from what you all said, I guess I had some type of positive effect. And as Colonel Blanchard say, I know there's thousands of other soldiers out there who are continuing on in their careers who have no idea how they were impacted by Carlos T. Woodard. And I'll tell you, I think that's a really big thing from a little small guy. So thank you all very much. Thank you for coming out today. That's all I have.
Major Woodard, thank you for those words. And it's been said many a times, but we'll say it one last time again. from PEC, SMTC, everybody here, thank you, and thank your family for letting us have him. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's retirement ceremony. Please take a moment to thank Major Carlos T. Woodard for his 29 years of service and enjoy some cake and refreshments in the back of the room. Have a wonderful day.